Hey everybody, welcome back to Sounds Like a Drum, Cadence Independent Media Production. Today, we are spending some time with and highlighting the features and benefits of the reissue of quite possibly the most famous bass drum pedal that you've never heard of. We are, of course, talking about the recent re-release of the Caroline bass drum pedal by ASBA Drums. A cursory look at the website shows that a lot of really famous drummers swore by this pedal back in the day. Today, we're going to focus on the reissue version and let anyone who wants to research the origins of this thing do so on their own. This won't be a comparison between this pedal and the original or this and any other bass drum pedal. Rather, we want to focus on the merits and possibilities that the new version offers us. The first thing that I noticed about this pedal, and you may feel the same, is that it does not have what is now a traditional design of a heel plate with a hinge going to the footboard. This is a solid footboard akin to some other vintage pedals that are fairly famous, and this is my first time playing a bass drum pedal of this design. Some players out there might look at this and say, wow, that looks bananas, I don't know if that's for me, but I'm here to tell you that as a person who likes to play with a very wide dynamic range that includes really soft and extremely aggressive playing, I really enjoyed the feel of this. Rather than a traditional hinge on this pedal, they actually use the same material as they use for the strap drive portion that passes over the cam in the front of the pedal, which is extremely strong and also offers both front to back flexibility and a little bit of side to side flexibility, so the movement of your foot sticks with the pedal a little bit more than if it had a solid hinge in the back. This makes it feel really organic and a little bit closer to how I feel when I hold a drumstick and approach the drum from different angles. Additionally, behind the hinge and in part of that fabric piece, there are holes for attaching a strap or screws if you want to do that to help immobilize the pedal and keep your bass drum steady. Of course, it also has traditional spikes in the front of the pedal to do the same thing, and we didn't have any trouble with it moving around on us today. The pedal board itself has a pretty large gap in the center of it, which is nice because it reduces weight and makes it a very comfortable thing to play in shoes. However, it feels a little uncomfortable in socks, so it is worth considering the possibility of wearing shoes if you're going to use this pedal. We also took the liberty of removing the adjustable toe stop because, frankly, I'm just not a toe stop person, but it does come with this as an added feature, which can move quite a bit front to back for adjustability. The adjustments for the toe stop are similar to the rest of the adjustments on the pedal in that it has a wing nut or a handle or a knob rather than having to use a drum key. Actually, there are no standard adjustments on this that require a drum key. The spring tension adjustment is beautifully simple. It's adjustable from the drummer side and doesn't require any kind of wrench or drum key or anything like that. And it also comes up toward you, which some vintage pedals used to have, which I find super intuitive and way easier than having to get down underneath it. Coming up from the spring, we have a extremely adjustable beater angle gear system on the side, which gets us anywhere from 90 degrees away to right up to the head, which frankly, what more can you ask for? Another fun adjustment that's available on this pedal due to the lack of a solid base plate underneath it is that we can choose from two different sets of holes in the base of the front of the pedal that allow us to move the footboard front to back, changing the angle of attack of the footboard and raising it up in one position or lowering it down a little bit in the other. I'm using it in the forward position today, which raises the board up a little bit and gives me a little bit more of an aggressive, powerful attack on the pedal. A unique aspect of this pedal that steps away from the feel of it and into the functionality is it utilizes a plate across the bottom and two separate screws so that you can get pressure on both sides as it attaches, so it's never going to swing off of the bass drum, which may happen to you from time to time. It's definitely happened to me. The pedal comes with a pretty standard round felt beater, which felt great for us today. No complaints about that. As you switch between beaters, like any other pedal, it'll change the feel. There's a lot of length option going on here, as well as the beater angle to the head, and there's a lot of customization that you could do beyond the standard felt. We also really love the method that you attach the beater to the pedal with. In this case, rather than just a standard drum key screw, which can get loose and maybe have your beater fly out, this has an eyelet and a wing nut on it. You can get plenty of tension. You don't need an extra tool to do it. It makes removing it and changing the beater super easy and really lowers the likelihood that you're ever going to have it come loose. As a working and performing drummer, this is a great pedal choice for me, and I think an awful lot of people. And one of my favorite things about it, especially if you're in a hurry, is that all of the adjustments on this pedal are accessible from above. You're never having to reach underneath the footboard or get down there on your hands and knees to try to adjust anything, because they had the presence of mind and forethought to make it all accessible from the drum throne super easily, and again, without the need of a drum key. This means that for any feel adjustments you might want to do, or if you're feeling like you want more spring tension today, it's super quick. You don't even need to get off of the seat. And for me, particularly where I find myself playing backline kits pretty often, I notice that I have to adjust my bass drum pedals from kit to kit, and it can't get any easier than this. Additionally, the attention to detail and materials present on this pedal give me no concern about really getting into it aggressively and knowing that it's going to survive the gig and keep coming back for more. And one more word to those of you who are still reticent about the idea of no heel plate. There is so much to be said for no heel plate being part of a playing off of the bass drum lifestyle. Playing heel down, feathering, and then needing to get into it super aggressive and get back to feathering again. Honestly, after playing this today, I feel like heel plates get in the way of that kind of movement, and I was shocked at how intuitive this was, bearing in mind that I have never played this pedal before today, and right out of the gate, I had a blast. One of the reasons why I like this kind of design is that I feel like the pedal board itself follows the movement of my foot throughout how I play and stays with the bottom of my shoe, rather than feeling like my foot is coming off of the pedal and meeting it again when I'm doing doubles or when I'm playing aggressively. The surprising thing about this pedal for me today is that it followed all of the techniques that I use on pedals with a heel plate, and frankly felt faster to me because it was with me the entire time. Rather than feeling like I was playing the pedal, I really felt like I was just playing the drum by moving my foot with nothing in between. Additionally, when you look at the footboard, it looks heavily textured, and it does have inset lines and like a texture to it, but the parts that are raised up where your foot is are smooth, so it's a good combination of being able to play across the pedal if you like to slide your foot, but also not feeling like my foot's going to come off the pedal because it's too slippery. By virtue of being able to remove the toe stop for players who like to play the way that I do, I'm able to get all the way up to the front of the pedal for some techniques and then back down closer to where my heel sits for other ones, both for dynamic changes and also for when I want to play certain kinds of 2 or 3 or 4 note groupings. We have a lot of real estate front to back, and also we have an unusual amount side to side as well. It gets pretty wide in the center, which means that even if you have bigger feet, I'm a 10.5, it's kind of average, it's not going to get in the way. And even if you're a person who is accustomed to longboard pedals or even longboard pedals with no heel plate, I really, really want you to give some thought to the idea of something that's a little more traditional like this, if only to just learn what it does to your technique and how it makes your drum feel. All told, what we have here is a really fascinating entry into the modern pedal market that's bringing in aspects of a really classic pedal that was loved by a lot of my favorite players back in the day and made a lot of my favorite music. All right, that about wraps it up. Thanks so much to ASBA for sponsoring today's video and sharing this pedal with us. Follow the link below. You can learn about it, try it out, see if it's for you, and get out there and play.